And so I was like, I must be sexist. So maybe I should stop wanting to be a boy. So ever since I was like in like middle school, I was like, am I transgender? Because I don't really like being called a girl. But then I kind of just gave up on it because I didn't know any transgender people and my parents aren't very supportive. So when I was a kid, I was like, am I transgender? And I always wanted to know what it felt like. Like I wish I could have talked to like somebody who was like transgender, because I was like, well, I feel like I was born the wrong gender. Like I wish I was born something else, but I'm also okay with the fact that I am in the body that I'm in. And so like what changes like someone who is uncomfortable with their gender identity versus someone who knows that they were born in the wrong body, I guess, in a sense, like born the wrong gender. And I really wanted to be able to talk to somebody about it, because like I wanted to get their opinion, like of somebody who transitioned. And I was like, I wanted to be like, I want to know what they've experienced. Like, how will I know that, like, if I should transition or not, or like whatever, right? Pretty much because my parents weren't supportive, I just kind of gave up on it and was like, there's no point thinking about it. I was born a girl. I'll always be a girl. There's nothing I can do about it. So I should just give up and like stop thinking about it so much, because there's nothing I can do at the end of the day. And then in college, I was taking a sociology class, and that's when I learned that gender is just a social construct. It's just there because that's what society said it was, kind of thing. Once I realized that since it was like a social construct, like everything we associate to being a girl or being a boy is all kind of just made up anyways, I was like, oh, interesting. Then I guess it doesn't really matter if I was born a boy or a girl, because that doesn't really change anything. Like, I guess like I'll just be fine with being a girl because it shouldn't matter. And I always felt like feeling transgender made me anti-feminist, which I don't really know like how to explain it, but it was like, if I was like, I like convinced myself that if I really hated being a woman that much, it must be because I hate women. And so I was like, I must be sexist. So maybe I should like stop. Maybe I should stop wanting to be a boy because I'm being sexist. I felt really guilty about the fact that I felt like not right in my own gender, I guess. But yeah, and then eventually I found out about what non-binary was, and I had told one of my really close friends at the time, like, hey, I think I might be non-binary, and he was also a member of the LGBTQ, and so he just started calling me they, them pronouns without me asking. I was just like, oh, I think I might be non-binary, and then he just automatically started using they, them pronouns, and I realized how much I liked it, and then I started telling, like, closer friends, like, oh, I think I might be non-binary, and I started going by she, they pronouns to see how I liked it. And then the more I used she, they pronouns, the more I realized I hated being called she. And then when I started realizing, like, oh, normal people wouldn't hate being called she if they felt like they were a girl, you know? Like, a girl would like to be called she and be told that they are a girl, you know? Sorry, I'm, like, doing this. And then, so the more and more, like, I looked into, like, what being non-binary was, and, like, if I was non-binary, you know, it's, like, the big thing is, like, gender is a construct anyways. Gender is kind of dumb to begin with. So I'm definitely, like, a gender abolitionist as well. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think gender's dumb. But I also know that people feel strongly with their own gender identities, and, like, I don't think that's wrong at all. I just think that, like, applying stereotypes to people because of a gender norm is kind of silly, because gender is like not like a biological thing. Gender is 100% just a social thing. But yeah, that's kind of like how I realized that I was non-binary. Yeah, and then after I realized, like, oh, I prefer being called they instead of she, that, like, you know, that's probably not how most girls feel. I started saying, like, oh, I'm non-binary to more and more people. And yeah, now I'm like fully out as being non-binary, at least on the internet. Exactly, gender neutral. I think gender neutral is like the funniest thing I've heard in a while. That was some funny But yeah, what's it called? Yeah, It's not like a super complicated thing. I definitely had those friends that are like, nah, you're not non-binary. You're just like being a certain type of way or something. Is this snowflake gonna look ugly? I feel like this snowflake's gonna look ugly. I found out today my friend was non-binary, even though I kind of knew, and I've been saying they, them for the last month. It's just cool seeing people that are confident with that stuff. I agree. Oh wait, that's not too bad. Look at my snowflake. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Snowflake? Okay, I'm gonna try to just figure out how to do this 3D snowflake real quick. 3D snowflake? Oh.